Hi everybody, my name is Jessica Holyfield. I'm a professional dancer, professional dance choreographer, and dance educator based out of the southeast of the United States. And today we're going to be looking at episode 2 highlights with some battles and some other performances that we've been seeing, and I cannot wait to get in this with you. This video in particular, we're going to be analyzing Mina Myung, Leah Kim, Mina Myung from Deep and Dap, and Leah Kim from One Mil. And I know this is definitely probably one of the highlight battles of the entire episode because of just the tension that has been set up. Alleged tension, of course, and just the relationship tension between the two. I am very intrigued how this is going to go because I know both of them as choreographers and dancers and not as freestylers at all. Now, they probably freestyle or improv in between their choreographies, like before and after, but I haven't seen them in the scene, in the battle scene, the underground scene at all, but doesn't mean that they're not in it. So I'm very curious how this is going to go in comparison to some of the other battles that I've already seen, like with Wolflo and with Superkill, you know, so I'm very intrigued how this is going to go. So enough of me talking, let's get into it.
지금부터 두 댄서의 배틀을 시작합니다.
Okay, here we go.
You guys ready? Fight!
가볍게 밟아줄게.
Very wow. Okay.
똑같은 것도 하는 거예요.
So she's trying to attempt some crump posture influence movements because of the type of song this is like really hard. Hitting, like a lot of, I would say crumpers. Wow, okay. There's some, I think there was contact made there. Yeah, she tapped her hat. Right. She's like, back off, let me dance. Ooh, she touched her. I mean, we're like, no, don't do it. Don't touch. Oh.
No. Back up.
I will say there's a lot of repetitive textures that Leah's doing in correspondence to how she choreographs. I'm noticing that. It's what I'm expecting, honestly. Yeah, there's a lot of tension, but also I'm like, you know, she's like listening to music, she's taking her shirt off. Now she's, you know, she's probably frustrated or there's tension here. Taking her.
There
we go.
최선을 다해봐.
Wow. She's making some very interesting choices. She's matching more of a whacking approach because of the song. Okay. I wish that she kind of, I mean, okay.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Wow, okay. So, I think Mina actually caught me a little by surprise by just her variety and what she brought to the table. Okay, let's talk about this. We got to get into it. I know there's a lot more tension in this one. Obviously, because I already prepared, I already told y'all, I know, you know, but if we're just looking at the dance, don't look at not looking at the drama behind it, just looking at who did it better. So we're gonna first, Leah Kim starts. I will say, Leah Kim's song is a disadvantage to her because she does not choreograph to the style very much at all. She actually choreographs more like femme or more abstracts, right? Like hip hop songs she can do, but when you look at what her field or wheelhouse of choreo, this is not the best song she could have freestyled to, you know? I mean, that was a nice moment she had right here. But you also got to take a look, though. I don't really see how she comes up. I think they do show No, they didn't even show how she came up. So I don't even know how she, you know, I saw she got into it. I don't know how she came up. That could affect, you know, the complexity of that move. But so far, I'm assuming she went down and then she came back up, you know? I mean, so there's a lot of cutting that's happening here because they're cutting to people's faces and reactions or whatever and commentary. So I know that there's probably a lot of pieces to this battle that I'm missing. So I'm sorry for that, you know. I wish Choom had this one uncut as well. You know, but look at this kind of position she has. Now, I've seen this in her choreo. We saw it in the K-pop challenge choreo that they did when Mill did in their coup d'etat, right? So I know that they're used to using this type of hand. You know, I wish I could... It just looks like she hits to reset whatever she's doing. And that's like kind of a habit I'm noticing in her movement is she's like hitting and then she's like, you know, she's adding more of like a front forward. And I think she wants to come across more intimidating with that type of attacking texture. I noticed that. Now this right here, I think they blew it up a lot more than it needed to be, honestly. I've seen in other battles, I have like, come on, sound effects, come on. Like, I saw so much more intimidating blows to the opponent from previous battles that are in this episode compared to this. They just really blew it out of proportion just to make it look like a bigger thing. Mina, you know, Mina's dancing while Leah is. So I think Leah is probably frustrated by that because whenever you see somebody dancing when an opponent is going, sometimes that's in correlation to not having a respect for your opponent. And it's like, you don't even deserve my time. I'm just going to kind of dance over this because you're not even worth watching. And I would rather dance more myself because I don't want to watch you. Like, that's a subtle kind of thing here. I don't know if that was Mina's intention, but sometimes that's what people do whenever they like get pissed off, that kind of stuff. And I think that in turn I think that frustrated Leah because Mina is not like respectfully just kind of waiting and just not, you know, not moving. But also Mina has every right to move how she wants. Leah could back up. She could move a different place, but Leah approached her. So this was kind of the result of that, you know? So now, you know, but Mina's not helping herself very much. She can't carry a crump posture. Honestly, neither of them do a very good job of carrying a crump posture. And with this type of song and how she's choosing to go about it, you're showing the holes in your weaknesses in your pocket. So like Mina's really not helping herself here with trying to square up with Leah. Leah's not setting herself up well to begin with. So honestly, Mina's best interest is just let Leah do her thing and Mina needs to come out and do her thing. And that's going to be the best thing for her because Mina should know that she can't hit this pocket the same way that other people in that room can. You know, I'm assuming that she probably just thinks she can do it better than Leah. But honestly, you know, she even has more fabric on her and her pocket is really stiff because that's not her wheelhouse nor her scope. So I feel like there was a little bit too much, you know. I mean, for her, she's like, back off. She should have, you know, should she have touched her? You know, probably not. You know, maybe she wasn't moving as fast. And I think that really ticked off Mina, which could have worked in her favor for how the choices she made were more intense. But, you know, but now you hear no touch, don't touch, you know, and it causes more tension here. You know, but I don't know how often Leah, you know, is put in this type of frustrating tension position. So I don't know what part of these, like, I honestly think like people are naturally having a tension because they're not on good terms. And so anything that is done is going to be seen as a more emotionally elevated thing. Music doesn't help, cuts don't help, editing doesn't help in this either. But I do want you to know though, when you look at this just as a battle, like if there was an uncut and I watched the uncut and we just saw that, you know, yeah, don't touch. There was no reason for her to like lightly tap her to keep going. She could have kept going and that worked against her because whose time is being eat up? Leah's is. You know what I mean? Mina's going to have a full 40 seconds to do what she wants to do. Leah needs to stay in her own lane and she needs to do her own thing. You know, but what she's doing is instead she is being effective. You know, she has 13 seconds left, but she probably wasted a good 3 to 4 seconds doing that versus just doing her thing. She could have traveled all up here towards the judges. She could have been walked around Mina. You know, she could have done different choices here, you know? But notice that she's hitting a lot of very basic grooves, but she's hitting it with the same texture that she started in the very beginning. Her texture hasn't changed. And I think that's her biggest thing right here. And a lot of her choices are very like trying to go as big as possible, but because she's not in a freestyle context at all, and this isn't choreography, this is freestyle, she's not making the smartest choices because her emotions are affecting her choices. And she's not used to battling in that either, you know? So I'm just saying, you know, and a lot of people are like, oh, they're going to fight. Nah, like, no, you know, so you notice, I mean, I like that choice here.
5, 4, 3,
But also, she, she kind of threw it down. She's like, okay, it's her choice. But also, she's like, going to take a break. I think, did she do her best? I honestly think if she was given a different song, I think we would have seen a different Leah. So I'm hopeful that there's another battle that we see in the future of Leah competing maybe against somebody else. I don't know if they're going to do a second round or anything like that. But I really feel like that song really was a huge disadvantage to Leah, for sure. Now, with Mina, she had a more femme song. She could do more with it. I wasn't expecting her to whip out whacking at all. I really wasn't. I was expecting her to do something similar to Leah because she got a lot of her fingerprint movement from her. So she's doing that. I think, honestly, at first I was like, why are you taking your shirt off? But now, since you're in the song, that makes sense because this type of clothing would actually work better for a song like Leah's versus a song like this. So the fact that she had something like this underneath really, I think, is very helpful for her because you're able to see her femme posture a little bit more authentically than if she was wearing like a baggier shirt. Because in the culture, in the community, you normally don't see people dress with that kind of aesthetic. Then you normally see them dress in what she's wearing now. So that's good. I think it's interesting. Like, I wonder how Yoonji and Waxy feel about her wax here, So she goes, she takes it off. I don't know. I don't get a chance to see what other people react to in the precise moments, but, it is what it is. Look, she's handling her posture. Let's go. I was not expecting her to do any sense of overheads or any variations of any kind. This is a very strong start for her. That was really nice. The fact that Leah was folded over and she did a high kick over her, that was a really great setup for Mina. This was a great start for her. Boom. That chapstick, like she did those little knocks right there. That was, that was fun, She's using her hips. Do I think this is strong? Like, here's the deal. She was against Yoonji, no chance, right? She was against Waxy, no chance. Especially when you're going to try to do their wheelhouse. But remember, who is she up against? Leah Kim, right? So this works really well for this battle. Also, would she make these same choices if she was against other people that this is their wheelhouse? I don't know, because I haven't seen it, right? But you have to factor those things in. We can't sit here and compare and be like, Mina, both of them were on the weaker side of this, that, or the other. We can argue that all day, or we can be that all day, but you also have to understand the DJ picks the style for the dancers. And so far, up until this point, I feel like this is the very first time that I'm seeing like a true disadvantage song for somebody. I really do feel that way. I really feel that Leah got the short end of the stick on her song choice for sure, and Mina got the song choice that really helped enhance what she already has to offer. I'm going to really die on that hill. I really feel that way. Now, however, in battles, you should be able to dance to anything. That just shows your fluency in how you represent yourself as an artist. You should be able to dance to anything. So did they dance to anything? Technically, yes, but did Leah really showcase herself as well as she could have? I really don't think so. And maybe we'll see it in other choreographic aspects, like in the K-pop rounds or, in other performances that we'll see. But really, truly, with Mina right now is really at an advantage because of her song, but also she went second, and Leah did eat up some time touching her and, kind of getting all up in her face and stuff. But also, Leah is not, pushing her off. I mean, Leah did push her a little bit, they said no touching, right? But, she's kind of getting all up in her face. But Leah is choosing to just watch, I think that's a pretty courteous thing to do in general. For her, she's kind of just indifferent. Now, I really wish Mina didn't do this. I wish she did something different because she's already showcased her high kick. I feel like this right here just kind of shows, she's doing more of a karate and that kind of the hops and stuff. I could kind of give her take with this. I think she could have done a very different choice there. Really, truly, but that was fine. That was whatever. She's showing a lot of performance. I think she's slowly running out of things to do here too. Like that right here. She's repeating her groove and she's just trying to get in Leah's face. And that's the closest thing to Leah's face, honestly. That's how I feel, So I would say she had a really strong start and then it really faltered about halfway through, probably near the tail end of that. If I were to pick my vote, I'm going to have to say Mina took this one simply because Leah had a disadvantageous song. I'm really going to lock that in. I really feel that way. However, that is no excuse to me, really. I feel that it means if she could have rose to the challenge of that song, she would have decimated. Do you know what I'm saying? So it is something I do kind of wish because of this type of battle, because we've seen it already. We've seen where there was a couple, when people who are kind of equally stacked or supposedly equally stacked, they're given the same song, right? I think Subakill and Wolflow, there was a round, and then it was with Kirsten and Waxy, they had the same song. Do you know what I'm saying? And so you were able to actually properly measure them in between. I really think this was not an accurate representation in comparison between the two. I think it was that's just kind of how the cards fell. So I am really hopeful that I get to see both of them in a different battle, probably with different people, but maybe with Leah especially, more advantageous music. But I really think Mina took it because she actually set it up really well. She was showing technique, variety of technique. Did she repeat a couple things? Yes. Do I feel like she did a couple moves that kind of backfired a little bit? Maybe. You know, I feel like with the kick, I really feel like that was kind of not that great. And also her trying to do a crump posture is just not it for me. You know, with the get out of your mind, it's so aggressive, and so a lot of times you want to lock in and you want to dial in on that. Neither of them displayed proper crump posture there. I feel like they tried. Mina really should have just stood there and just let Leah do her thing. I really think that kind of worked against her too, just trying to get up in Leah's business, but it also kind of helped her too because Leah got a bit peeved by that, and then she used a little bit of contact. So all in all, I think I really wish that there was a different, I really hope that there's future battles that I have the opportunity to see, even if they don't put them on this YouTube channel, we get access to them a separate way. I will want to go watch those. So, but yeah, that's my vote. I'm going to vote Mina on this one. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope this was helpful in some way. I've really enjoyed the second episode so far. I'm enjoying the show significantly more than I was expecting, and I'm really happy about that, especially because we've been having amazing discussions in the comments of every single one of these videos. So I really love that. I love being able to talk with you guys, hear your thoughts, hear your perspective. If there's other things that happen in the episode that really help provide more context with what we're watching, I would love to hear it. Thank you again, and I will check you on the flip side. Bye.